What is up, ADHD gang? And today we're gonna be kind of bouncing all over the place, because in today's video, I am going to kind of be doing a gift guide, a kind of thrifter, crafter, DIY kind of gift guide of all of the things that I personally usually will give out as gifts, things that you can easily find, things that you can make, things that you can buy, and tune in to the end of the video because I will be doing a DIY. I want to kind of experiment with a DIY that I've been seeing go around, and it makes for the perfect gift. So stay tuned and let's get into this video. Okay, there are so many great things for gifts. The first thing is going to be for my fellow sewers and stuff like that. If you do not sew clothes or just sew things kind of in general, this may not be for you. You can go ahead, skip in the video a little bit ahead and check out some of like the other sections for my fellow sewers. You want something to, maybe you're looking for something to gift a fellow sewer, or you're a sewer yourself giving gifts. If you want to gift something to a fellow sewer friend of yours, the best thing that I can recommend is fabric. You can gift them thrifted fabric, bags like this of scraps. Fabric scraps can be turned into so many different things, cute little projects. Gifting them things like thread and stuff like that, unless it is typically black or white, I would stay away from some kind of funky colors. Unless you're pairing it with yarn, with fabric, you could gift them some fabric and then maybe some spools of thread to go with it. The other thing that I highly recommend is a seam ripper. I am always losing my seam rippers. I always misplace it. I always lose it, can never find it. And a good pair of shears. Like if they do not have a good pair of shears, that's another kind of good thing. But for things you can make so many different things. You can go ahead and make clothes. For instance, cutie little jackets, t-shirts, sweatpants, stuff like that. Say that's kind of not your thing, you don't know how to make clothes. You can make bags. This bag was obviously crafted out of patchwork material and stuff like that. And I made this so that it has the kind of cute knot. It is adjustable, stuff like that. Another good gift that's kind of easy is you can take little fabric scraps. If you cut them into a big enough square and like hem the edge, these can easily become headscarves or bandanas. You can take it, whatever, make it into a cute little headscarf. I have fallen victim to that, and I did it with this kind of thrifted piece of fabric, cut it up. Another easy thing is gonna be your like smaller things, which would be scrunchies. You could do keychains, lanyards, kind of stuff like that. That's a lot of like smaller stuff. If you don't want to full on make clothes, you can also do things like little zipper pouches, bags and containers to hold like chapsticks or sanitizers or something that kind of pairs well. Let's go on to the next one. Okay, so this next one is going to be for kind of the more like craftier, I guess, kind of person. So the first thing that you could do, I did not make this myself. I thrifted it. Somebody else in the boutique that I shop at makes stuff like this. But like, look how cute this is. It's like little trees and mushrooms. It's made out of clay. And it's like a little, I guess, like organizer to hold stuff. Really cute. Probably one of my favorite pieces that I own. Out of clay, you can also make so many other things. I have here, I'm going to try not to spill it. But I made like a tic-tac-toe board, and it's supposed to be like Calcifer from Howl's Moving Castle. I'm dropping eggs. But there's like little eggs, and this is like the grill pan kind of it. Another thing is this is out of wood, but you can make little kind of decor pieces, make them little trays, make them trinkets, jewelry, stuff like that. Another thing would obviously be, if they're more of a plant lover, you can make pots, containers, bowls, mugs, kind of more stuff like that if you are clay crafty. If you're not that kind of crafty and you're more DIY crafty, you can also kind of do the same things. Do something maybe paper mache. You can make them in ornate kind of frame stuff kind of like that. And yeah, let's get into another category because I have so many. Okay, so this one's along the lines of thrifting. I want to say like almost everything in my room is either made by me, thrifted, or like it came from Amazon, like these tapestries. I love them. That's another kind of good gift idea, is to get them like a tapestry off of Amazon or Etsy or someplace. Chef's kiss. For thrifting, you could thrift them something. Don't mind the dead plants, but like this cute little guy, like he has eyes and like a little nose and mouth, but like it's a cute little like plant pot. And then you could, if they're a plant person, even if they're not, like a cute little pot, and then get them a plant, or if they have plants, and like even little like plates like this is a tea plate. This works for a catch-all tray. Like just to have a little plate to set around different places works for anything. Obviously you can thrift decor and stuff like that. I had thrifted this candle, one of my favorite candles ever. Along kind of the lines of DIY, you can thrift things and then edit them if necessary. This wasn't necessarily thrifted, but it was glass. It's a glass candle holder, but I spray painted it gold, and then when you put the like desired candle in there, I think that that's so cute, very cute. Along with thrifting, you could obviously, if you find the right place, you can find gorgeous pieces like this. I paid $7 for this natural onyx tower. It's a heavy tower. You could do crystals, you could do spray like little misters, you could do like, get them a bunch of like little trinkets, whatever their favorite thing is. The best thing is candles. I personally have gotten into making my own candles. I want that to potentially be something that maybe I could sell in the future or something like that. But if you can get cute little vessels thrifted and stuff like this, and then pour a candle in there. If you're not like into candle pouring, you can take like your favorite kind of scented candle, or a candle that you like. Maybe you got it from the dollar store or something, or it was only like $5-6, and if you put it in a different vessel than just like its own container, it kind of makes it a little bit more special. You can also thrift them like little knickknacks and things. Like I said before, this is like, I painted this myself. You can get them, depending on the person, you can get them kitchen stuff, room stuff. You could thrift them like glassware, whatever kind of works for them. It all just kind of depends who you're shopping for, what you're shopping for. Some things you may want to buy newer, but there are a lot of options at the thrift store to put together like a good basket where you could easily toss in some food with it, a drink, something else. So let's get into this kind of final category. For this final category, we are in a different room because I'm doing things in other rooms and there's a TV out here. It's a little more appealing right now. The final thing is knitting and crocheting. Knitting and crocheting does take quite a bit of time. I've had to kind of restart my first knitting project that I am working on. I find knitting is a slightly easier process just in the fact that it takes up less yarn. It's not as complicated to do, which makes it a little less expensive. I am here knitting a cowl. Not sure who it's gonna go to, if I'm gonna keep it for myself, but I kind of started out with crocheting and then just kind of like gave up on it, and I've been getting into knitting and I've really liked it. Obviously something like knitting a sweater is going to be a lot more harder than knitting a scarf, and you don't want to be that person who just knits things and just like, here, have a scarf, here, have a hat, here, have another hat, like to just keep giving them stuff like that, because I don't want to end up like that person. But these are kind of a more like handmade, thoughtful, I guess, kind of gift, and knitting is fairly easy to get started into. You can just knit squares and then sew them up together and turn it into something. So that's what I have for my kind of like thrifted crafty gift guide. Let's get into this kind of DIY that I have, and during this DIY I'll kind of like also mention another like kind of thrifty, crafty kind of thing that you can give to people. Okay, so for this DIY that I was talking about, we're gonna attempt to paint candles. Oh, this candle is broken. We will start with this candle. You're going to need a candle and some paint. If by some chance, like, I can't light candles in my bedroom, and we don't usually light candles around the house, if you want to actually light the candle, I would recommend trying to get wax, maybe from like another candle, melt it down and use the wax to paint on the candle, because it will significantly make it easier to burn, because I'm not sure on the process of burning a candle with paint on it, but mine are purely for decoration. And I have over on my palette a nice pretty shade of green. I am going to be attempting to do a checkerboard pattern on here. You can obviously do whatever you want. I have seen some people paint little mushrooms and do little intricate designs, and I do not have the patience to sit and wait for that. I don't even know if I have the patience to sit here and paint little squares on here. So yeah, let's get this started. So as I'm kind of sitting here painting this candle, paintings and artwork is also another great gift, kind of time consuming and stuff like that, but it is another great option if you want to give something a bit more of a personal touch. You could thrift a vintage frame and paint somebody an art piece. Now for this, I'm obviously going in with bigger squares. I've seen smaller squares and I kind of liked the look of a smaller square a little bit better. But I do not personally have the time and the patience, and I think that this, to me, just to sit in my room for months on end is perfectly fine for myself. If you want kind of a more less opaque, a more kind of fluid look, less brushstrokey, less opaque, you would go through then with a second coat of paint if you really didn't want it to see through. For me personally, this is just a personal project. I'm kind of just doing this because I wanted to try it out and stuff like that. So to me, seeing like kind of these strokes and seeing it like this, I personally don't mind it. Obviously you can do more than one color. You can do as many colors as you want. In the past, I have gifted art to people. I went to a technical school in high school and we made a few art pieces, and I gave a really nice painting to my grandmother. Obviously, my grandmother is kind of at the age where appreciating certain things is kind of hard for her. She's not really like mentally there, I guess you could say. But, you know, the thought counts. I've gifted some of my parents a lot of artwork. Art was one of like the main things that I really like went to and kind of gravitated towards, and now I guess that I am a lot more into sewing and stuff like that. I do kind of gravitate towards making clothes, thrifting clothes, and doing stuff like that, but this is just a very simple project, and I am going to come back to you guys because this is gonna take a hot minute when I am done. Okay, this is it. It's a little artistic, I guess you could say. I am surprised though, it stands up on its own. You can't see that. It stands up on its own. I don't know, I thought that was funny. But yeah, let's get into the outro. Okay, that is gonna be it for this video. I hope you liked this video. I hope maybe you take some of my suggestions and go out and maybe try a few things and see. Also, when you're getting your candlesticks, I recommend thrifting them. I paid $1 for both of these white candles at like this antique kind of thrift shop that I've been going to recently that I love. But make sure that you please like this video, subscribe, and comment down below. Out of all the things that I kind of listed, is there something that you want to see? Do you want to see kind of a close-up of me just like knitting for hours? Like, do you want just kind of like a cozy video of me kind of showing you how I knit, I guess? Do you want to see more paintings? Make sure you check out the art Instagram. Just posted the reel of this bad boy. Love that bad boy. That took a bit of time crafting. And yeah, down in the description will be my link tree, link to all of my socials, all my platforms, follow everything, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!